Ethiopia is known for coffee production and it is high quality on the global stage, and there are different farmers and private groups producing coffee in Ethiopia. Among them, Kerchanshe is the leading coffee producing company that operates in different parts of the country. Hello and thank you for joining OBN Horn of Africa. This is our weekly program Future Africa and I'm Fantambalete producing this program. Today in this edition we will be discussing coffee production in Ethiopia, and we will have a visit at Kerchanshe coffee producing in Ethiopia. Till the end of our program, stay with us. Dear viewers, you are watching OBN Horn of Africa, our weekly program Future Africa. Now I will have some discussion with Dr. Wonderfrau Tafara, Kerchanshe Group Agricultural Operations Director. Till the end of our program, stay with us, don't go anywhere. Doctor, nice to meet you and welcome to this program.
Thank you very much.
Would you tell us a bit about yourself?
My name is Wonderfrau Tafara. I am the Director of Agricultural Operations at Kerchanshe Group currently. I have been in the coffee sector for the last 45 years. I have been working in different parts of Ethiopia, particularly in the southwestern part, where there are big coffee plantations like Babaka, Tepi, Limu. These were previously owned by the government during the Derg regime. So I was one of the guys who established those farms. So I do have a lot of experience concerning this, and on top of that I had also been in the research system for about 14 years, where I acquired more and more knowledge about the coffee improvement and other things. With this extensive practice, now I'm working at Kerchanshe, which is a vibrant coffee producing organization.
Would you provide a brief history of Kerchanshe and its vision, please?
Yeah, Kerchanshe is basically, it has started during the last, before 10 years, 10 to 15 years, and it has been working on coffee trading mainly, but recently, since the last 5-6 years, it has involved in coffee plantation. Kerchanshe currently has 4 coffee plantations, farms in Ethiopia. 2 of these are here in Guji area. One is at Dabaka, this farm, and the other is in Galana. The other farm that's currently growing highland coffee is the Bali Mountain coffee, and we are also working at around Gibe on the way to Jima. So in these areas we are in total having coffee plantation of around 2,000 hectares. Kerchanshe, in the coming 5 years, we do have a very huge ambition to expand our plantation to 15,000 hectares.
All right, thank you. What specific coffee varieties does Kerchanshe specialize in, and what makes them unique? That means we talk about the variety of coffee that Kerchanshe produces.
As you can see it here, we are producing coffee under open sun. When you grow coffee under open sun, you can't use the varieties that are used to grow under shade. So we are using the varieties that are tolerant to heat, stress, and to open sun conditions. These varieties mostly are developed in Jima Research Center, from Jima Research Center. They are the Katimor varieties. But what we are doing is to improve their quality. We are applying different kinds of management practices, and we want to get sustainable yield. So to attain that, we are using different practices. As you can see it here, we are using plastic mulches, drip irrigation systems with fertigation as well.
How does Kerchanshe ensure the quality of its coffee production throughout this production process?
To get quality coffee, first of all, you have to have a very good field management practices. That's one of the things. Number one, the weed control is there. Water scarcity shouldn't be there. Nutrient supply should be enough and sufficient. So we are doing all these things to get bold fruits from these ones. After getting those fruits, we are also taking serious consideration on coffee processing. These two things will help Kerchanshe to produce high quality coffee.
Could you provide the difference between Kerchanshe and the local farmers who supply coffee beans?
Kerchanshe has got around 56,000 local farmers that are supplying coffee to Kerchanshe. So we are supporting them as outgrower. We are providing them with seedlings, we are giving them technical backstopping to produce high quality coffee. So these farmers, they produce coffee, high quality coffee, and supply to Kerchanshe, and Kerchanshe will sell that coffee and give them premium prices. Always Kerchanshe is committed to ensure that farmers get premium prices for their produce, because they are toiling a lot, they are working hard, and they shouldn't be exploited. So we are giving them attractive prices so that they will be encouraged to produce coffee more and more in the future.
How does Kerchanshe contribute to the local economy and community development in Ethiopia?
We are producing coffee here. We do have farmers, we do have different washing stations and coffee processing units around in Ethiopia, in different parts of Ethiopia, particularly in the southern and southwestern part of the country. So in these areas, we are providing, number one, we are getting a high amount of foreign exchange currency from coffee sales. Number two, we are supplying the local governments in these areas with the essential taxes, land taxes, profit tax and others. So they are getting also money. The other thing is supporting of the society. The community is supported. The community has got a direct access and a reliable market for their produce. You know, one of the major problems is farmers will produce their production and they don't get sustainable marketing access. So that's one of the things that discourage farmers from engaging in high production. So we are supplying them, we are opening the path for them to get access for market, for premium markets. So farmers will be, the community will be encouraged to produce more and more production. In the country-wise, we are among the top producers, the top exporters of coffee. So by that, we are generating a considerable amount of foreign currency for the country as well.
How does Kerchanshe incorporate technology into this coffee production and processing methods?
One of the major problems of coffee production currently that's coming up, you know, previously labor is cheap and everything is available. Now labor is becoming scarce because farmers are engaged in their own production around their fields. So labor shortage is seen, particularly for coffee picking, for coffee management and other things. To supplement that, Kerchanshe is using different technologies. Mechanization. You know, in Ethiopia, mechanization of coffee farmers is not common. There are countries like Brazil where they are doing their things, their coffee plantations through mechanization. Now Kerchanshe is taking that technology, bringing in that technology and using it here. For instance, we are just controlling weeds through mechanization, so using choppers. We are harvesting coffee using the mechanical harvesters. We are spraying coffee. When we need to spray, we spray coffee using tractor-mounted sprayers and other things. We provide our coffee with foliar feeds. That foliar feed is also given through mechanization. So all these things will reduce the requirement of labor. With that, we improve our cost of production.
What challenges does Kerchanshe face in the coffee industry, particularly regarding climate change or market fluctuations? Because you sell your coffee on international markets and there are also climate change effects that may affect the production quality or maybe even the yield.
Kerchanshe is trying to do, you know, to use adaptable varieties. That's one of the things we need to do. So as you can see it here, these varieties, they are highly adaptable here. You can see, you can just look it on the field. So they are adaptable. So this is one of the mechanisms that we cope up with climate change. The other thing is marketing. Marketing, yes, price fluctuation is there. All over, whenever you grow coffee, this year maybe we are getting better price, but in previous years the price was very low. So to do that, we work on volume as well. So we are producing more and more coffee. We are supplying more and more coffee. From volume, we can get that loss we were expected to get.
As an expert who spent many years in agricultural operations, how do you see the country's resources for investment and investing in agriculture in Ethiopia?
Ethiopia has got a very immense agroecologic potential. We do have land, we do have labor, we do have water that you can't find anywhere in the world. In most of the countries, they are growing their crops on bare lands, okay, on very degraded lands. Ethiopia has got a fertile land. Ethiopia has got different agroecologies that can enable anybody to grow different types of crops in different conditions. So this is a huge potential, but we haven't yet exploited this potential fully. We are trying now, we are trying to use this potential and maximize our production. So for direct investment, yes, there is a potential that can be exploited. So the environmental potential is there. In Ethiopia, we don't use irrigation water. Only about 4 to 5% is only used. The Ethiopian waters are used for irrigation. But now we can maximize our production, and we can cope up even the climate change with using this irrigation. So the irrigation water is available. The rivers, there are different. Ethiopia is source of big rivers that supply different countries like Egypt, like Sudan. So we can harness those waters and we can utilize them for the production within the country. So any foreign investor will be highly attracted, okay, to exploit these potentials in Ethiopia.
What potential benefits do you see in coffee production in Ethiopia?
Ethiopia is the center of origin and diversity of coffee. So being a center of origin and diversity of coffee, Ethiopia has got a very huge potential for producing different kinds of coffee crops in Ethiopia, different qualities. When you go to the southern part, to the eastern part, take Hararge coffee. Hararge coffee is there. That has got a very unique and niche market in the Arabian countries. When you come to here, Sidama, Kerchanshe and Gedo and Guji areas, the coffee that's produced here has got a very high demand in Europe and America. If you go to the southwest, similar things are happening. So there is a huge potential for coffee production in the country. There is the agroecology is there, and we need only capital investment. So if you invest those capital, you can exploit the huge potential of agricultural production in Ethiopia.
Okay, what initiatives does Kanchanche have in place for improving the livelihoods of farmers and particularly women in the coffee production?
Kerchanshe is unique in allocating 10% of its annual profit for charitable organization, for charity. It has got its own philanthropic wing called Bunakala. Through Bunakala, we are supporting farmers. Through Bunakala, we are building schools, we are building clinics, we are building roads and potable water and different supporters. We are giving different supporters for the farmers. With that, Kerchanshe is paying back the community, trying to pay back the community for the services that they are rendering it. Because when you are investing in an area, you have to work with the community. Unless you work hand in hand with the community, you cannot succeed. Because the community should have sense of ownership of your investments. So investments will be safe whenever communities are engaged.
How does Kerchanshe engage with international markets, and what is strategy for expanding its brand globally?
We don't dwell on existing markets only. Always we are looking for additional markets. We are assessing additional markets and bringing them on board. For instance, the China market was not common in the Ethiopian coffee trade. But now the Chinese are, they are growing. They do have growing population, so those populations are now adapting for the coffee consumption. So in such kind of communities, if you work hard to engage those people as a consumer, so you will maximize them, as you will expand your market share. So that's what we are doing. The common markets, the common markets are Europe and America. But the Chinese are recent comers. The Southeast Asian countries are recent comers. So Kerchanshe is working hard to engage those communities, those countries, to bring them on board for coffee consumption. So we are getting a very good result in this regard as well.
Looking ahead, what are the future goals for Kanchanche coffee producer in terms of growth and sustainability?
As you can see, we have started this one. This is, for us, it's like a trial plot. This 2,000 hectare is a trial plot. It's very small for us because we are anticipating in the coming 5 years, 15,000 hectares. So getting all the lessons that we are getting from these fields, the existing fields, we want to develop our coffee plantation, to expand our coffee plantation so that we want to raise Ethiopian standard from the current, it's 5th state in the world, okay, to at least the 3rd or like that. We want to improve the standard of the coffee supply from Ethiopia. So if we improve that with this high yield that we are getting currently, so Ethiopian status in the world coffee market will be very high. That's the major target of Kerchanshe. We want to supply quality coffee in high volume to the world market, to the ever demand that's existing in the world.
What makes it different in producing coffee in Ethiopia and in other countries in Africa and on the globe?
Most of our African countries, the higher producers, the higher coffee producers of Africa, they are producing Robusta coffee. We are producing Arabica coffee. We are producing the premium coffee. So investing in Ethiopia, in Ethiopia we don't produce Robusta. Robusta is of lesser grade. Okay? There are countries that require Arabica coffee. So Ethiopia has got immense potential for producing Arabica coffee, unlike the other African countries. So anybody who wants to produce Arabica coffee, the high premium Arabica coffee, should come to Ethiopia. 80% of the world coffee market is concentrating on Arabica coffee. Arabica is highly valued in the world coffee market. So if they want to produce that coffee, they should come to Ethiopia. That's what I want to say.
Finally, if you have any message for viewers watching us and for foreign investors.
My message for the foreign investors is let them come to Ethiopia. Let them invest in Ethiopia. Ethiopia has got immense potential, immense agroecology. There is water, there is high fertile land, suitable agroecologists are there. There is a working community who welcomes any investor as long as they engage the community. They want to grow with the community. So foreign investors will be highly acceptable in the Ethiopian agricultural development scenario. So I will call upon all foreign investors who want to invest, who want to make change in the world in agriculture, particularly in coffee production. So they will be welcomed in Ethiopia. We are welcoming them. We do have ample potential, so let them come and exploit that potential.
Dr. Wandafrau Teferra, Kerchanshe Group Agricultural Operations Director, I really thank you very much for your time and for your insights.
Thank you very much.
As a farmer manager, what can you tell us about Kerchanshe's agricultural practices, particularly coffee production? Starting from the nursery side, for example.
As we know, agricultural practices starts from the nursery operation. There are so many activities performed or agronomic activities performed at nursery site. We prepare soil media before if the certain nursery site is adjusted and selected, we prepare the soil media. Soil media is topsoil, compost, and also redash for water percolation. Then after, we select good and disease resistant and research released variety coffee that is recommended in selected altitude, that preferred for the selected altitude. Then after, we select the good quality coffee seedling, we prepare the nursery. We prepare the nursery site. At the nursery site, we practice after filling or after released the seeds. Then after, we practice many agronomic activities at the nursery site, such as watering, fertilizing, hoeing, weeding, to get good stand and healthy nursery. If we perform good and agronomic practices at the nursery site, then we get healthy plant or healthy seed at the nursery site. That's why we get such good stand of coffee tree at the field site. If we take proper care, proper agronomic activity, proper crop protection activities at the nursery site, we get good in the quality standards of coffee. Then after we complete or good agronomic practice at the nursery site, we take it to the field site. Then at the field site,
now we are in field site, right?
Yeah, we are at field site. As we know, if we see this coffee, it is good stand and healthy tree plant. That's why we take or we perform good agronomic activities or cultural practices at the nursery site. Then after coming here, we take, after planting, we perform each and every agronomic practices. We irrigate, we weed mechanization. Our weeding activities performed by mechanical. We don't use any manual operation here. Each and everything is performed mechanically. We use drip irrigation. As we know, Ethiopian coffee is grown under shade, but Kerchanshe is unique, as we know. This is out of shade, it's open shade. Open shade. That makes unique from the other Ethiopian. That's why, that's out of shade, we use drip irrigation. We use drip irrigation, each and every activity. We fertilize through fertigation. We watering through drip irrigation. We also perform other weeding activities through mechanical or chemical spray. We don't use any manual operation. If the recommended rate of fertilizer or the recommended rate of fertilizer is performed through soil and leaf analysis. We perform through soil and leaf analysis. That's why we use such operation activities. There is a drip line here. There is a drip line. This is drip line. The drip line of a meter. So we use through this drip line each for fertilizing as well as for watering activity. We perform through this. So we don't no need of rain. We are not dependent on rain. Each and every activity is dependent on through this watering and fertilizing activities performed here. If the fertilizing from this, if the fertilizing through the ground is not enough, we spray through leaf. We take through foliar feeding. Then after by foliar through the ground, we feed in many times.
So what can you tell us about how the source of your water?
Okay, thank you very much. The source of our water is from river and the spring. As you know, we have a dam here, over there. It's a great dam.
Is that the dam?
Yeah, okay. It's a great dam. We have a reservoir. After we take this water into pump house. There is a pump house over there. We treat there. We treat the water, and we take clean water for each and every tree of coffee. Proper management and the treatment is accomplished over there. That's why the treated water is given to the tree plant through drip line. as well. In this manner, we treat our water.
So far, we certified with 7 different sustainability certificates. This shows our commitment for sustainability, especially if we take Devaka Farm. It is certified with 2 international standards, Rainforest Alliance and the Cafe Practice. So certified means you follow the rule of sustainability. We produce environmentally friendly way. We care for our society, and also we care for our workers as well. The general concept of certification is you have to care for the environment, for the community, and also for the sustainability of the farm. We revise the standards, what is required on the standard, and then we implement those standards. The standards include coffee production quality, also environmental management, also about social well-being. So we treat the community and the workers in a fair way first. Then we work on the environment. We need to make sure everything is in place. Then we start production of the coffee. So during the coffee production, you don't harm the environment, you don't harm the workers as well.
What are your plans in the future?
These certificates are international standards. It is a 1-year certificate. You just get a certificate for 1 harvest year. And then next year you have to comply again and have to be certified. Our future plan is engaging more certification standards and to scale up our way of doing things to the standard level.
naannoo faarmii dabaqaatti kan argamnu. Faarmii dabaqa kanarraa akkuma waliigalaatti buna qulqullina qabu gabaa giddu galeessaatii fi dhaabbata lafa qonnaa kan keenyarraa.
In the South region, there are different farms, and today we are at one of the farmers, which is Dabaka Farm. On this farm, we produce coffee beans twice a year, and we sell these coffee beans on international markets. Kerchanshe Group is renowned for its commitment to high-quality coffee production, blending traditional methods with modern techniques to ensure premium products. We prioritize sustainable farming practices and establish long-term relationships with local farmers to ensure the highest quality of beans. Dear our valued viewers, you have been watching our weekly program Future Africa on your favorite media channel, OBN Horn of Africa. I hope you have got something special out of today's program about coffee production in Ethiopia and its benefits for the country and for Africa or for the globe. Thank you for watching this program. Stay tuned with other programs of OBN Horn of Africa.